Ready? Oh, beautiful. Good. That's exactly where they're supposed to go. Don't take your time. Just hurry. Just bam, 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 bam. Right down the line. Just walk it down. Get every one of them. Right down the line.
You ever shot a gun before?
Yes.
How'd you feel about it? I mean, were you comfortable with it?
Not really. No. I was a little nervous about it.
A little intimidated, perhaps?
Yes. Yes, a little bit.
How do you think most ladies react to firearms?
I think they are intimidated by firearms and they're afraid of them. That's basically because they've never been taught how to use them.
Absolutely. Most of them are. As far as using it for self-defense, having a gun in the house. I have a gun in the house. I don't know how to use it. So it just sits in a closet. Hopefully I won't ever have to use it, but I don't know how.
Want to learn how to shoot a gun, feel comfortable with one, and then actually be able to hit something? Well, then this is what you've been looking for. In the next few minutes, Roger Dick will walk these ladies and you through what it takes to buy a gun, ammo, and then learn how to shoot. These two ladies had hardly ever handled any type of weapon. Yet after a couple of days, Roger Dick had them shooting dime-sized targets out of the air. That's right, I said dime-sized targets. Shooting BBs on the ground, even. Then, working up from BBs to the real thing. The first thing you'll need after viewing this is a BB gun, targets, and room to shoot.
Hi, my name is Roger Dick. I've been a firearms instructor for over 15 years. I've got 6 years in special operations instructions, 6 years with law enforcement instructions, and I've been a contract security agent for over 15 years. What we're going to show you in this tape is a very unique shooting method. It uses the basic skills that you already have, and we take them, we hone them to a razor-sharp edge. It's so effective that it's taught to the United States Government Special Operations Groups. The ease of it, a 12-year-old child can master the technique in about a day and a half. So come on right now, and let's begin some classes. See, the first thing we're going to have to be worried about will be our safety glasses. While shooting these targets in the air, the BBs have a tendency, if you're dead on target, which most of the time you are, to hit and bounce backwards. So we need some excellent safety glasses, preferably with polycarbonate lens to keep from shattering. Glasses sometimes will shatter and you can get some little shards back in your eye. Therefore we want real good shooting glasses, okay? All right, secondly, the second thing we want to do is to check master eyes. Take your glasses off for me. Take the washer, hold it out at a full arm's length. I want you to look dead through the center of the washer and put it right on the very tip of my nose. That way, looking through it, I can see you're ambidextrous. In other words, the washer sights me between your eyes. It should be a right master, left master, or ambidextrous means you can shoot equally well off the right or the left shoulder. Give it back to me now. We'll try it with Karen. Take your glasses off. Hold it out at full arm's length, keeping both eyes open, right on the very tip of my nose. Okay, I'm showing you as being ambidextrous. I look right back and I see right at the bridge of your nose, which means you can shoot equally well off of either the right or the left shoulder. Okay, for proper and safe weapons handling, what we want to do is not play like the old cowboys in the Old West, where you cock a BB gun like this, for several reasons. One, it's hard on your fingers. You scrape a lot of skin off. Second, unsafe. There might be someone around in the general area, and if you did have an accidental discharge, you could hit someone in the eye and put it out. So the way we want to do it is hold the weapon straight up, grab hold of the cocking lever, pull it all the way up until you hear it click. Being careful as you go back down to keep your fingers out of this area here so they don't get pinched. Let it lock, then you're ready to shoulder the weapon and you're ready for a shot. Okay?
All right.
Okay, now we're going to try and learn to throw some targets that we're going to be shooting at. Okay, the targets we're going to be using will be a 3-inch, a 2-inch, and a 1-inch disc. They're real easy to learn how to throw. hold them in your index finger, keeping your wrist still. Don't try and flip your wrist. Hold your wrist steady and just let them roll off. As you start up, it creates a spin as it rolls off the tip of your finger and goes into the air and leaves itself a good flat trajectory, because you want your concentration on aerial targets to be on the top of your target, like that. You want to try it?
Okay.
Okay, now let's get a little bit more height. Okay. Up a little higher. All right, Karen, let's have you try one. All right, very good. You'll need a little bit of practice. You got to nice and slow. Good. Now we want to get a little bit more height on it. You're actually going to need, you're not spinning, you're more or less throwing it up. You need a little spin on it, and you need a height of about 10 to 15 feet, about that height. They should be spinning. Oh, great one. I like it. Everybody get that one in the grass. Okay, well, since we've already got comfortable and learned how to throw the disc, you ready to start some shooting?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go for it. Okay, starting off, I want you to do like we'd spoken before. Get yourself a comfortable position, feet slightly apart. Now when you handle the weapon, take it at ease. I want you coming straight up and weight just a little bit forward on that left leg. Everything nice and smooth. Let's give it a try. Okay, looks good. Okay, let's cock it and get ready to go. Okay, now starting right off, I'm going to let you put the weapon up to your shoulder. Get yourself comfortable. Now what I'm going to do is throw this disc up into the air. And I'm going to present you with a flat target. I want your concentration right here on top of the target. Do not look at the middle. As you have no sights on the weapon, you're not even using it. So what we're going to do is look at the top, and you should hit dead center, okay?
I'm going to shoot it.
You're going to shoot it. When I throw it up, just at any time that you can act like you're just going to reach out and pull the target out of the air. That's what you're after. But once you are up there and it's there, pull the trigger, okay?
How far up should I shoot it?
At any time that you feel like you can.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. Okay? All right, looky there. See? Looking right at that top. You're almost dead center. So you're actually shooting, looking maybe 1/8 of an inch down, so you're that far below. So let's try it again. All right. Exactly, doing good. Do it again.
Hit below.
Look below. Mm-hmm. What you're doing is looking at the middle of the target, and you'll be hitting below. Ah, good. Real good.
I saw it that time.
Right. Your first 2 shots were almost dead center, which tells me you were looking right in this area because they were so close. This one is down on the lower half. That tells me you're looking right about where this shot was, or almost the center of target. Once you start shooting the outer edges, you're concentrating on the center instead of the top. If you're on top, they'll all be in the center area. Okay, you're doing pretty good. How about let's change it over and let Pat give it a try.
Okay.
Okay, Pat, we're going to do the same thing with you. Get that comfortable position. Get that weight just a little bit distributed forward on that left foot.
Okay.
Get you a nice, smooth flow where what I'm wanting on this is everything meets at one time. As you bring it up, it will meet your shoulder about the time that your head touches that stock. You're looking straight over it. You're going to be looking, following that, okay?
Okay.
All right, we ready to try one?
Saw the target.
Now, did you see the top or the middle?
Up the middle.
Okay, I want you to concentrate on the top, okay? All right, where'd that shot go, or did you see it?
I didn't see the shot.
Okay, try it again.
I didn't see the shot that time. looking at the middle of it.
Looking at the middle. Concentrate on the top. All right. See?
Yo, success!
Now, from where we hit, that tells me you're still looking
Still
right in this area because you're hitting out in the outer portion. If you're looking right here, this is where I want you to concentrate on, this top of the target. The next one's going to go right there. Dead center, okay?
Top of the target.
Top of the target. Here we go. What did I tell you?
I looked at the top.
What did I tell you? Huh?
At this point, we're going to slow things down a bit and offer a bit of advice on these targets. If you miss over the top, you may be trying to sight down the weapon. Don't. Just look for the top of the target and use your natural instincts and make sure the weapon is against your shoulder. If you miss low, again, you may be trying to aim. Don't. Focus on the top of the target. And again, check and make sure the gun is against your shoulder. And if you're missing to the right or the left, check the position of your cheek on the weapon. It should be resting against the stock. Don't pull away from the gun. Okay, now that Karen and Pat have mastered the 3-inch targets, it's time to make things a bit more difficult. 2-inch targets, and finally, 1-inch targets.
All of these will be aerial.
Now, just like Pat and Karen, once you've been able to hit 8 out of 10 3-inch targets, move to smaller ones. Then from 2-inch to 1-inch. And by the way, in case you noticed, Pat's now switched shoulders from the right to the left. If you remember, during the master eye testing, Roger discovered she was ambidextrous, and she wasn't doing well right-shouldered, so we switched her.
You've got your training in. You can hit the 3s, you can hit the 2s, you can hit the 1s. Now we're moving into real live weaponry. For hunting birds, shotgun is it. I'll be throwing these clay targets out for you. I want you to treat them just like the little 3, 2, and 1-inch targets that we're shooting. Get at the top. When you're on it, just pull the trigger. When the bird comes up, all I want you to do is just pick the weapon up, lock on that bird, and nail it. Way to go. Good round. Oh, beautiful. Good shot.
This is great fun, shooting clay targets. It's also good practice if you want to go dove hunting. And remember, shoot for the top of the target.
Go. A little bit out of range on you, didn't it? Ready? That's the way I wanted you to do. Put that weight forward on this left leg a little bit now. That's what I wanted. Very, very good. Okay. Now we can take a break here. Swap over to Pat. Real good shooting. You've done fantastic, gal. I knew you would. When we go from transition to aerial targets to ground targets, we're going to be using the same BB gun, same basic principle. The only difference is in the aerial targets, you're shooting at the top of the target. On the ground targets, it'll be looking at the bottom rather than the top. And later on, we'll transition out to where you'll be holding the BB gun as if it were a pistol, with an extension of your arm, keeping your wrist straight. Then when we get to the target range, you'll be shooting at the portion of the body of where you're looking at, okay? All right, I'll tell you what, let's do. Give you both a couple of weapons. Okay, we'll pick up a few of these used shotgun shells and we'll throw them out here and try and get some practice. Now remember to look at the bottom of the target on a ground type target. As soon as it hits the ground, let's get on it. That's it. That's it. Now one thing about this, if you shoot at one of the ground targets and you miss, go to another target and come back, because your brain is programmed. If you shoot 2 or 3 more times at the same target, you're going to miss in exactly the same place you missed the first time. Tear them up. Wait. Keep moving. Don't give them a chance to even slow down. That's it. That's it. They hit the ground. Nail it. Way to go. All right. can actually go from those larger targets down to actually shooting BBs with BBs, which a lot of people think it's going to be hard to do, but we're going to let you try it right here, right now. Pick you out one of those ants now and get it instead of one of the BBs, and then you'll really see how your concentration has been brought down. You're actually just taking that concentration down to the ultimate. You're scaring the ants now. More ways than one. Goodbye. There you go. You got it. When you pick out one BB there, you're actually just taking that concentration down to the ultimate. See how easy it is?
Yeah, well, you could hit them.
Just pick out the BB you want, or pick out the ant you want that's crossing the area. You're taking your concentration down now from all the way up to a big 3-inch target, now down to the size of a walking ant. So you can see how much you progressed. Easy shooting, no? Okay, now that we've had our fun with the BB guns, now we're going to get into some real serious shooting. We'll start off shooting with the .22. We'll do the same thing with the moving targets. Then we'll go into the pistol work. Okay? Let's have some fun.
Okay.
Weapon safety is always the prime when handling any kind of weapon. Treat it as if it's loaded.
Right.
Okay? We'll go back on these big targets. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go. Ready?
Yes.
Good. Let's go. Minute it gets there, move it. Don't give it a chance.
By this time, Karen and Pat were pretty comfortable with the feel of the gun and their own fast improving shooting skills. The .22 rifles they are using are light, don't have much kick, and they're eating up those shotgun shells.
Beautiful. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Good shot. Do it again. And again. The instant they hit the ground, as fast as you can, get on them. That's it. Come on. Oh, beautiful. Good. Come on. That's what we want. Go. Again. 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 Go. 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 One more time. Beautiful. Can't beat it. Okay, what we're going to do is line up a train or a fence row series. Show you how fast you can get on a target and then nail it. It's just basically walking down a fence row with no problem, okay? Okay, go from one end to the other. Just take them out one at a time as fast as you can. Right down the line. Good, good. Beautiful. Go back and get that one. You just standing. Way to go. Now nail the other one just still laying there. Come on, concentrate on that bottom. That's it. That's all you want to do. All right, Karen, we're going to allow you to do the same thing. Start on either end, just as fast as you can get them. Concentrate on that bottom. Walk down the line. Go for it. Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. Good, 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 good. Now this little .22 hole right there, get it. Bye, that's fantastic. Okay, what we'll do now is we'll take and go back and use the BB gun, and I'll teach you how to use it as a pistol. What we'll do is hold it straight out in front of it and doing the same type of shooting. Okay, when we use the BB gun as a pistol, what we're going to do is step around. I want you to keep your wrist in a straight line down through there. Extend your arm out just like it is a pistol. You're still going to be looking at the bottom of your target, and I'll be throwing the same shells out to you again. So we'll look at them, and as I throw them out, as soon as they hit the ground, pick them up, look at the bottom, and get on it. The only difference between the rifle and the transition down to the pistol is keeping the wrist straight. Okay? Let's give it a try. So I throw them out. Okay, first what I want you to do is go ahead and just hold the weapon out. Let me see how you're holding and make sure that's it. The way you are with this left wrist, it's a little bit weak, so it's real fine to hold this right here. That way it keeps the wrist straight. This way if the wrist breaks over a little bit, you're automatically going to shoot underneath your target. Or if you try and hold it up too tight, you shoot a little bit high. She has a strong right wrist, which she can hold it without the aid of the help up here, which normally a left wrist will be a little bit weaker than the right wrist. But either way, it'll help you hold it and keep your wrist locked in a straight position so you'll shoot correctly. Okay, we're going to do basically the same thing. I'll throw the shells down. Let's see what we can do. Remember to look at the bottom, concentrate on that bottom. You're going to have to hold that right wrist of yours. Your left wrist is breaking just a little bit. Good. See the difference? Yeah. Karen isn't having any problem at all. Her wrist is good, locked, and straight. Okay, your wrist kind of broke just a little bit on you there, Karen.
Getting tired.
All right. If your wrist starts getting tired, it's time to stop and take a break, because all you're doing is defeating your purpose. That wrist will keep breaking, you'll keep missing underneath, and you're actually breaking your concentration. So just don't shoot like this for 20, 25 shots. Take you a little break, go back and start it again. Be the best way to retain your knowledge on it. Okay?
Alrighty.
Okay, now it's time to get serious with those wasted shotgun shells. Roger has a little heavier armament in mind for this round, a .380 pistol. Same targets, same drill.
Okay, we got a .380 automatic. Do the same thing. Look at the bottom of the targets, reach out, and squeeze off a few rounds.
Now, should I hold my wrist
If
it feels more comfortable?
If it feels more comfortable.
I think I'm...
We'll work on your grip in a little while. All right, look at the bottom now and remember, okay? Good hit. Just keep walking over and picking you out one. Take your round. Just pick your shell, take your round. Pick your shell, take your round. Good. 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 Okay. Very good. Okay, Karen, we'll give you a try now. Pick your target, look at the bottom, let it go. Good. Just keep walking that one round. You're starting to break that wrist. Hold it. Keep your wrist straight. Look at the bottom of the target. Just keep walking it right on. Very good. Walk straight on over. Just pick your round. Way to go. Perfect. Okay, good. Got a little noisy on you.
Now that you've gotten this far, you may be wondering, what sort of gun do I want? What kind do I even need? Well, Roger has the answer for that too, with a little help from a friend at Ed's Gun and Tackle.
How you doing, Ed?
Good to see you, Rod.
I brought you a couple of ladies down. They've just gone through the course, and we want to see about getting them some firearms now for self-protection. Get through with that, we want to go in and do some range use.
I think that'll work. Good to see you, girls.
Great.
There are literally thousands of guns to pick from, all kinds of manufacturers, types, calibers, even uses, hunting, target, and personal defense. And Roger has some very practical and helpful recommendations.
Okay, as we always do in weapon safety, the first thing we want to do is check a weapon to make sure it is not loaded. We consider all weapons loaded until we verify it on our own. You'll notice with this weapon, it has a forward cylinder opening assembly. It must be pulled forward and the cylinder flipped out. You check the cylinder, make sure it's all empty, everything works. Close it back up. Then you can take a look at it. We'll put this one back now. This type, most of today's weapons have the rear cylinder release. It's a mere push and the cylinder flops out. That way it's an easy check. Make sure the weapon's unloaded. Since we've already checked all of these, what I want you to do is try them. You'll notice the different handle types on each weapon also. The comfortability and the feel of the weapon in your hand is what we're trying to portray. You have natural instincts built in. What feels comfortable with you will be a good weapon for your usage. that one feel?
Not bad. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Handle feel heavy, big?
A little heavy.
Okay. Those are things that your natural abilities will tell you what feels good in your hand. Double check this one. Try that one.
Much better.
Small, compact, versus this one here with about a 2.5 to 3 inch barrel with a small barrel there. Easier concealed either on your person or in a purse for your self-defense purposes.
Now this is much lighter.
Okay?
This one's just as comfortable as that one.
For the grips, the handle, or what? Like I said, you allow your natural ability. These grips on this one are larger than they are on this.
This
So-
is a bigger grip.
Correct.
That one's better.
So let's go with our basic feel. When you get on up to still a larger one, this one has the insert. There's a safety ring. When it's installed, it cannot be loaded, which is good for display purposes. Not real good at home. Weapons checked. Verified is closed. Safe ring is installed. Now we can try that one.
That one's heavy. It feels all right, but it's heavy.
Okay. How's the handle?
The handle's good.
Balance?
Yeah.
All of these have to come in from your natural instincts.
Yeah, the handle's good, but it's much heavier gun.
My purse isn't that big.
No.
Purse isn't that big.
No.
Good consideration. Okay. And finally, we'll go up to the largest one. Big Trooper 357 Magnum, such as your state troopers and a lot of officers use. Safety ring installed again. Now you can see the difference as you go up to your heavier weapons.
It's not even comfortable.
No.
It's too big for my hand.
They're way too big for your hand. Too heavy.
Very hard for concealment. This would be good maybe to carry in your car if you're not going to carry it on your person. Okay. Also, we have different types of ammunition that would be available for each one of these weapons. Ooh, I dropped those. This is what we call a semi-wad cutter. It's used for target practice. When you do go on the range, it's not meant as a self-defense or home defense round. Strictly a target round. This is a full metal jacket sold in all stores, meant for home or self-defense use. This is what we call a hollow point. As this round goes into something, it expands, giving it more kinetic energy for knockdown or stopping power. Definitely a self-defense type round. They are expensive. They're not really meant to be shot on a range facility. Stick with your semi-wad cutters for your practicing, using either one of these two for your defense. This type of round can kill at a range of 5 miles. So if you happen to miss something and you have a ricochet, the possibility, not the probability, but the possibility of someone being injured at a range of up to 5 miles is present. Therefore, be sure of what you're shooting at. Be sure there's nothing to be endangered behind your target if you're out on a range. In a perpetrator or a self-defense mode, it's completely different. Do the best you can with the time that's allotted.
And if you do purchase or own a weapon for home or personal use, Roger has a suggestion if you must keep it loaded. An empty chamber under the hammer.
We load 4 rounds into this particular weapon. This is 5 rounds instead of 6, leaving the last cylinder open. So as we close the weapon, the empty chamber is underneath the hammer. In case it's bumped or dropped, you won't have an accidental discharge of the weapon. Okay, now we're going to check into automatics. The 3 most favored calibers in automatics would be your .380, your 9mm, and your .45 automatics. Again, we're looking back for feel, we're looking for concealability, and we're looking for stoppability. In an automatic, same thing as checking safety. You get a weapon like this, you never know. It may be loaded with a round in the chamber. It may have the magazine loaded, no round in the chamber. The safety itself may be off, it may be on. And these can vary from weapon to weapon. So the first thing we do, find a magazine release. On this one, it happens to be in this area. Release the magazine, check it. No ammunition. You can discard or lay down the magazine, roll it over. The chamber area is there. We pull the slide back. Look down the barrel, hold it up, and look down the magazine to make sure we have no round available to get into the chamber to load it live. Now we'll feel the feel on the automatics versus what we had on the revolvers.
Feels good.
Handles not too big,
Yeah.
not too small, balance good. Okay,
balance.
that's what we're looking for when we're talking the natural instinct on the weapon. Okay? Now right next to this one, we have basically the same model in stainless steel. The difference between the two is that the blued model needs to be cleaned and oiled more frequently, handled less. The natural moisture and the oils in your skin can cause rust spots on these. So the difference between the blue and the stainless steel, we have less problems with both rusting and malfunctions because of that. Check that one. If you'll notice on these automatics, even being brand new, you must pull the slide action back to operate it. See how strong the slide is. That is another consideration of whether you want to go to an automatic or to a revolver. You don't want to be caught where your strength itself will not allow you to operate the slide. Keep your fingers out of those triggers unless you're actually ready to shoot. That's one of the safety things we talked about earlier. Again, we have another 380. When, as I mentioned before, the difference between where the magazine release itself is located, this one happens to be to the rear. Some are to the front. Most should be up on the side of the left handle for your magazine release. As we move up further to the 9mm, this is one of the modern new space age technology weapons. Feel how light that weapon is.
Feels like plastic.
It feels like plastic. It's space age technology. However, it's a nice home defense weapon, but it's not an easily concealed weapon. Therefore, we could probably rule that one out. Checking the magazine, we're clear. Now, the big heavy-duty stopper would be the .45 caliber automatic. This is a definite stopper in any situation. It's a heavy weapon, shoots a heavy round, but it is definitely one of the best home defense weapons going. Big and bulky for your hands. You may not want it. Some people can handle the .45. Okay, we'll talk more about the ammunition on each one of them. Little 380, we're basically in the same position we were with the revolvers. You have your round nose, full metal jacket. You also have your hollow points. You want these to be for target shooting, these for yourself or home defense. Keep them loaded with your hollow points, okay? So we go on up to the 9mm, we have the same thing, full metal jacket and hollow points. They get a little bit bigger. Now when we go up to the Supreme Man stoppers, we have the .45s. When you get hit with those, that will definitely stop anyone. Okay, we don't recommend rifles for home defense because of the power in them. Rifles will run from 22 on up to 308 and even larger calibers. The power that is in the ammunition in this is really undesirable for household use. One of the 30-30s and up rounds can go all the way through all the walls, through your house, into another house, and possibly injure someone there. Another thing about them is the length of the weapon itself. Trying to move and get it around, you're constricted in certain situations. So therefore, we do not recommend the rifles for home defense purposes. This is a very good home defense weapon called a Thompson Contender. You can order the barrels in various gauges or various calibers. This one is a 410 gauge shotgun, because shotguns are highly recommended for home defense as a short range stopping weapon. This 410 shell is a good stopper. It's easily concealable, not a lot of noise except on an enclosed area, yet it does have some good stopping power. Okay, the best recommended home defense weapon would be the shotgun. We can take them anything from 410 gauge up to 12 gauge. This 410 and this 20 gauge are probably the best. Okay, the availability of difference in loads between the shotgun shells, such as this number 2 shot, which has about 200 pellets in it. It's not apt to injure a lot of people or blow out the side of a wall. When it hits the wall, it almost deadens most of the force behind these, because these are real small BBs in this. For the one we don't want to do, this is a 1-ounce slug used mostly by deer hunters or big game hunters. This will tear a wall out, go through the side of your house, and possibly injure some of your own family or a family in another dwelling, which is what we don't want to do in these cases. And one of the good things about having a shotgun and at night, if you hear the sounds of a perpetrator in your house or in your apartment, most of them, if they hear the sound of a round being cranked into a shotgun, most of the time they're going to be going in the other direction.
Just like anything else, if you want to be good, you have to practice. And if you can't find a place to shoot outside, indoor ranges are a good bet. Now, Roger wants to show Karen and Pat a way to steady up their shooting a bit.
Okay, what we're going to do, yesterday we showed you how to shoot with one hand. The reason we did that is so you would learn to keep your wrist straight and get used not only to the sound, but to know that there is no kick, per se, to the weapon. Today we'll add further stabilization by holding the weapon gently in our hand, just enough to hold it steady, keeping the wrist straight, bringing the weapon down. As you bring up the weapon, you're looking at your center of mass, and then you will sit and squeeze rounds off, one at a time. Okay? Try. Okay, your position's comfortable, left foot, the grip is good, wrist straight, and there you go. Good. Okay, Pat, now you can try it. Being that you're a left-hand shooter, we're going to have to work just the opposite with you. Your right foot will be down. This left wrist is going to be a little bit weaker, so you're going to have to concentrate on this wrist, bringing it up. That's it. And then you'll squeeze your rounds, okay?
Okay.
All right. In the range, we always want to have our ear protection on. In an enclosed area like this, you've got to rebound from all the shot noise. Ear protection is very important. Okay, bring it up. Look at the center of that mass. Look at the bottom of that X. All right, squeeze your rounds. Just pull it. Look at the middle. Look at that center, just like you were yesterday on the ground targets. Look at the bottom of that X. Good. You're kind of pushing a little bit. Ease yourself. Now pull it on in. Break the round. Changing positions. Okay, back up. Step. Okay, get yourself set up. Ease it up. Look at the center of that target. Break your round. Okay. Break another one. Look at the center of that target now. Look right at the center. Just act like you're going to reach out and pick it up. Squeeze the trigger. Squeeze the trigger.
Oh.
See where your bullets hit? They're all low.
Yeah, over down
Okay.
here.
Right.
And then the knife.
Okay. So what we're trying to do here to get the effect on it, when you to remember, you have to keep that wrist straight,
So it's going like that.
and what you're doing is breaking it, but so that's causing you to shoot low. What we got to do is just remember to keep the wrist locked and straight. I'll show you the way. All right, step behind me. When you come out, You're coming straight up. You're looking right on your target, okay? Get your grip, and you'll come right straight up. Act like you're going straight up to pick up the center of the target.
That was pretty good.
See what we're talking about? Okay, so we have the two where you had your wrist locked. You broke your wrist down here, and you broke your wrist up here. When you're looking in that area, and that wrist is locked, you're not going to miss.
So, you thought you were going to get away without cleaning up that mess. Wrong. Guns need to be kept clean and in good working order to be safe and reliable. So here's Roger again.
Okay, what we're going to do is have a little weapons cleaning. We're not going to go all the way through because we haven't shot in the weapons yet. So I'll tell you what you need and what you should do after every shooting on each one of your weapons. On your pistols, you need to double check, make sure that they're all safe and empty. You need a pistol type cleaning rod with the appropriate brush on it. Go through each cylinder using your gun oil solvent. Same thing, go back and go down the barrel. That cleans all the lead out that may occur. Not always, but it may, so that cleans all of that out. Once you have that done, you will trade over, take the cleaning brush off, put your little oil patch on. Stick your patch in your cleaning rod, clean each one of them out, all the way around, clean your barrel out. Throw that patch away, get you one and put you some oil, lightweight lubricating oil, go back in, oil all of your cylinders, oil your barrel. And you'll close it up, take you a light rag such as this, rub it with a real light coat of oil. In the wintertime, oil is not good. It tends to sludge up, get thick. The lighter the coat, the better it is. In the first place, this is a blued weapon, not a stainless steel weapon. But when you handle the weapon itself, the oils and the acids on your hand tend to eat the bluing off. That we don't want. So we wipe the weapon completely clean before putting it up, putting it in a holster, or anything else. Wipe it down with one real light coat. Load it back up. Put our rounds in, leaving one chamber underneath the hammer as you close it, so you have a dead chamber underneath the hammer in case it dropped. You won't have an accidental discharge that way. Okay? When we're cleaning either a rifle or a shotgun, take the basic breakdown, pull off the forestock, pull out the separate parts, lay them down. We'll do the same thing, only with a longer brush, using either 28, 20, 12, 16 gauge, whatever shotgun or rifle you're shooting. Clean them out of both ends, check everything over, make sure nothing is loose, nothing looks like it's cracked. All your locking pins are locking. Do the same thing on the receiver end, checking everything in there, wiping it all down. Take your brushes, again go back through with the brush, with the cleaner, clean everything out, go back with the big brush again, do your oiling, take you a light rag, oil it completely. Okay, and then we'll reassemble the barrel. Put the stock back on, and there we go. Wipe the entire weapon down one more time, take off all fingerprints. Again, that acid will leak the bluing off. Wipe it down, put it in the gun cabinet. Okay?
All right.
he introduces the gun as more like a friend or something that you could use, and not to be afraid of it, but have respect for it.
Mark Manders, formerly with Ducks Unlimited, sought out Roger Dick a few years ago to teach a local DNR course, and it has been a wonderful match. Kids, Roger, and his techniques.
To introduce a young person to the shooting, that's just one of the best ways in the world to do it. The gun safeties that the DNR puts on is a wonderful course, and I recommend even the younger children, that 6 and 7 and 8 year olds, to sit in on those things, because that's what we ask them to do in our program.
Think these techniques are only for civilians? Not so. Bill Caldwell has taught thousands of soldiers, special forces, Secret Service agents, and law enforcement officers, even foreign nationals, how to hit what they aim for. And he calls this a very natural technique.
Instinctive training is integral to all types of advanced firearms training. It's a natural, fluid movement of the body. It takes in the natural habits and instincts of an individual. Therefore, you're not trying to train them to do something that the muscles and the body doesn't know how to do in the first place. So you're using all their natural instincts and capabilities.
There you have it, step by step, how to pick a weapon, shoot it, clean it, and handle it safely. We hope this has been instructive, and we'd like to thank these people for their consideration, time, and help.